You're sitting in your car outside your own house, heart pounding like it's about to explode, hands shaking so bad you can barely hold the phone. You just found messages. Hundreds of them. Your husband of 8 years, and your best friend since college, the woman who was maid of honor at your wedding, who held your hand through miscarriages, who you called your sister. They're laughing about you in those texts, calling you boring, frumpy, saying you're lucky he puts up with you. And the worst part? They've been sleeping together for over a year. In your bed, while you were at work, while you were cooking them dinner. But here's what they never saw coming. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I didn't scream. I smiled. Because in that moment, I decided, if they want to play dirty, I'm going to bury them both. And when I was done, she didn't just lose her affair partner. She lost her house, her savings, her reputation, her job, her entire life as she knew it. This is the story of how one betrayed wife turned the tables and made sure her cheating husband and backstabbing best friend paid the ultimate price. Stick around, because this revenge, it's ice cold and oh so satisfying. If you've ever been lied to, cheated on, or stabbed in the back by the people who were supposed to love you most, this one's for you. Smash that like button right now if you're ready for some sweet, sweet justice. Subscribe and hit the bell, because I post the most insane Reddit revenge stories every single day. Let's dive in. My name is Emily, or at least that's what we'll call me here. 8 years ago, I thought I had it all. A beautiful home in the suburbs, a husband named Mark who everyone said was such a catch, and my best friend Sarah, the kind of friend who finishes your sentences, who drops everything when you're having a bad day, who I loved like blood. Mark and I met in our mid-20s. He was charming, ambitious, the guy who opened doors and remembered anniversaries. We built a life together. The big wedding, the dream house, the joint bank accounts, the investments. I worked as a marketing director. He was in finance. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. Very comfortable. Over $1 million in assets, no kids yet because we were waiting for the right time. And I trusted him completely. Sarah? She was married to Jake, Mark's college buddy. The four of us were inseparable. Double dates, vacations, game nights. Sarah and I even had a tradition, Wine Wednesdays, where we drink rosé on my patio and spill all our secrets. Or at least, I spilled mine. She always seemed to have less drama. Looking back, there were tiny red flags. Mark working late more often, Sarah canceling plans last minute with weak excuses, them texting a lot during group hangouts and laughing at inside jokes. But I brushed it off. I trusted them. God, that word, trust, it makes me sick now. The discovery happened on a random Tuesday. I came home early from work, migraine from hell. The house was quiet. Mark's car was in the driveway, but he wasn't answering his phone. I figured he was napping. I went upstairs to our bedroom and heard it. Moaning, giggling, the headboard banging against the wall. My blood turned to ice. I froze outside the door, hand over my mouth to stop the sob that wanted to rip out of me. Then I heard Sarah's voice. God, Mark, she's never made you feel like this, has she? I didn't burst in. Something primal stopped me. Instead, I crept back downstairs, heart slamming against my ribs like it was trying to escape my body. My hands were numb, my vision blurred with tears. I grabbed Mark's iPad from the kitchen counter, he was always logged in, and opened his messages. There they were, thousands of texts, photos, videos, for 14 months. I can't wait to leave her. You're everything she isn't. She suspects nothing. So pathetic. Last night, while she was asleep next to me, I was thinking about you. And Sarah. Jake's clueless, too. This is the most alive I've felt in years. We deserve this. I sat on the cold tile floor, rocking back and forth, bile rising in my throat. The physical pain was unreal, like someone had punched through my chest and squeezed my heart until it burst. How could they? How could the two people I loved most in this world do this to me? But then, something shifted. The tears stopped. My breathing slowed. A cold, razor-sharp clarity washed over me. They thought I was weak, the nice one, the pushover who apologized first in arguments, who always forgave. They were wrong. I wiped my face, took photos of everything on the iPad, emailed it all to a secret account, and uploaded backups to the cloud. Then I quietly left the house, drove to a coffee shop, and started planning. First call? The best divorce attorney in the state, shark level. Her name was Vanessa, recommended by a coworker who'd been through a nasty split. I told her everything on the phone, voice steady as steel. She said, "Emily, in my state, infidelity doesn't affect asset division, but fault can influence alimony, and we can make their lives hell in discovery. Send me those screenshots." Second move, I froze every joint account I could access without alerting him, transferred what I legally could into a new account in my name only. I documented everything. Third, I hired a private investigator. Expensive, but worth it. Within a week, he had hotel receipts, photos of them holding hands in public, even audio from a bugged car. Legal in my state for one-party consent. I was the one party. While this was happening, I played the perfect wife. I came home that night like nothing happened, made dinner, smiled when Mark kissed my cheek and said he'd been at the gym. Sarah even texted me, "Miss you, girl. Wine Wednesday soon?" I replied, "Absolutely. Can't wait. Inside?" I was a volcano. Every fake smile felt like swallowing glass. Every time Mark touched me, my skin crawled. But I held it together. Because revenge isn't hot-headed, it's calculated. The turning point came 2 weeks later. Mark sat me down one evening, looking serious. My stomach dropped. Was he confessing? Leaving? I think we need to talk about our marriage." Oh, God. Here it comes. He continued, "You've been distant, cold. I feel like we're roommates. And honestly, I think we should separate for a while. I need space." Space. He wanted space, so he could be with her openly. I let the tears come. Real ones this time. "Mark, is there someone else?" He had the audacity to look shocked. "What? No, babe, of course not." Liar. I nodded slowly. "Okay, if that's what you need, I'll move out this weekend. Give you the house." His eyes lit up, just for a split second. Greed. He thought he was winning. But here's what he didn't know. The house was in my name only, a gift from my late parents before we married. He'd begged me to add him to the deed for tax reasons. I'd never done it. The investments? Mostly in my name too. I'd handled the finances because he was too busy. And the prenup we'd signed early in the marriage, the one he joked was unromantic, it had an infidelity clause. If either of us cheated, the betrayed spouse got 75% of marital assets, and the cheater paid all legal fees. He'd forgotten about that clause, or thought I'd never use it. The next morning, while he was at work, probably with her, I had the locks changed, packed his bags, left them on the porch with a note. "You wanted space. Here's all of it." Then I served him at his office, in front of his boss and coworkers. The papers hit his desk like a bomb. His face went white. "Emily, what the hell?" I smiled, the first genuine one in weeks. "Read page 7, darling. The infidelity clause. Oh, and tell Sarah hi for me." He exploded on the phone later. "This is insane. You're overreacting. It was a mistake." A 14-month mistake? With my best friend? In our bed? Sarah tried too. Hysterical voicemails. "It just happened. We didn't mean to hurt you. You're being cruel." Cruel? They destroyed my trust, my future, my sense of safety. And I'm cruel? The divorce was brutal. They fought it, hired a lawyer together, classy, but my evidence was ironclad. Hotel cameras, PI photos, those disgusting texts where they mocked me. The judge, a no-nonsense woman, read a few aloud in court. The courtroom went dead silent. Sarah was there as a witness. She looked like a ghost. Makeup couldn't hide the bags under her eyes. Her marriage to Jake was already crumbling. I'd anonymously sent him the evidence weeks earlier. He kicked her out the same day. Mark tried the waterworks. I love Emily. I was confused. The judge wasn't buying it. Ruling, Mark forfeited 75% of everything. The house? Mine. The investment portfolio? Mine. His 401k? Mostly mine. The cars, the boat we barely used? Mine. He even had to pay my attorney fees. $87,000. He left with credit card debt, a studio apartment, and child support for the kid he and Sarah were apparently trying for. Yeah, I found that out too. She was pregnant. Miscarried during the stress of the divorce. Karma's timing is impeccable. But I wasn't done. Sarah thought she could slink away, move in with Mark, play happy family on a budget. No. She worked as a real estate agent, high-end properties, relied on referrals, social media, her perfect life image. I created anonymous accounts, posted the texts, the photos, faces blurred just enough to avoid lawsuits, but everyone who knew us recognized them. Sent packets to her boss, her biggest clients, her family. Her listings dried up overnight. She got fired for bringing disrepute to the firm. Mark's job? Finance is all about reputation. Whispers spread. Heard he cheated on his wife with her best friend. Total scumbag. He got passed over for promotions, then quietly laid off during the next restructuring. Last I heard, they're living in a one-bedroom apartment, fighting constantly, drowning in debt. Sarah works retail. Mark delivers for DoorDash on weekends. Jake? He and I actually became friends through the shared trauma. Nothing romantic. Just two people who got played. He kept his house, his dignity. Me? I sold the big house. Too many memories. Bought a cute condo downtown. Traveled to Italy alone for the first time. Started dating again when I was ready. And therapy? Life-changing. I won't lie, the pain was excruciating. There were nights I cried until I dry heaved, nights I questioned if I was the problem. But betrayal like that? It doesn't define you. It reveals them. And justice? Real justice? It heals in ways forgiveness never could. The best moment wasn't the judge's gavel. It was 3 months after the divorce finalized. I was at a mutual friend's wedding, someone who stayed neutral. Mark and Sarah weren't invited, but word travels. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. It was Sarah. Please, Emily, we're desperate. Mark lost his job. We can't pay rent. Can you loan us just $5,000? For old time's sake? I stared at the screen. My thumb hovered. Then I typed back, New phone, who this? Blocked. That night, I poured a glass of rosé, alone on my new balcony, city lights sparkling below. I raised the glass to the sky, to betrayal, and to the women who rise from it stronger. And for the first time in years, I felt free. Sometimes karma needs a little push. Cheaters think they can destroy your world and walk away clean. But real justice? It's patient, it's thorough, and when it hits, it's forever. Whew! If that didn't give you chills, I don't know what will. Drop a like if this was the most satisfying revenge you've heard all week. Comment below. Have you ever gotten epic payback on a cheater? Or what's the worst betrayal you've survived? Spill the tea. Best stories might get featured next. Subscribe and turn on notifications. More nuclear revenge dropping soon. See you in the next one.